the right thing. Oh God, it's not going to Midnight Monsters or anything, is it? I don't know what I'm doing. Oh my God. There we go. Okay. So, I don't know if anybody's going to show up tonight, but because nobody knows this is going on, but I'm just testing my new mic. I have a new mic. And I don't know if it's working or not. We'll see if anybody shows up. Splatterday Night is just going to go back to telling stories. I know. Oh, maybe I'll... Oh, wait, I can't. Shit. Yeah, I can. Oh. I'm in a goofy mood. Because I'm happy I got a new mic today. And I want to test it. All right. So how do I get back to my YouTube channel? So I can tell you that I'm here. Oops. Not that. All right. Oh, God. Let's see. Aoife is no more because that wasn't working out. But I'm not going to change Spooky Boo's scary story scary story time to Splatterday Nightmares because it's already done its time. But I don't think that Spooky Boo's I can't even talk today. Spooky Boo's scary story time is really even going anywhere because it's just not. Wait a minute. And I don't want anybody stealing my name, Splatterday Nightmares, because I think it's sublime. I know I'm weird. I have all these YouTube channels. I have like 1 million of them. Now I lost my window. I have 1 million windows open right now. Hey, Darth Loverboy turned loose. How are you? I'm doing fine. Thank you for asking. You're asking me, for those who may or may not be watching. Oh, 3 people are watching now. Yay! Hi, everybody, whoever else is out there. So, I'm not going to put movies on this like I was because, honestly, running movies is a royal pain in the ass on YouTube. Seriously. You get hit by copyright claims all of the time by people who don't even know them. There's a new scam going around on movies. I really miss live streaming, by the way. There's a new scam going around on movies that they're teaching all of these quote unquote criminal types are teaching people how to get around the copyright. So if you've noticed, if you go on and you look, there's 1,000,001 channels showing different kinds of movies because there's a guy going around showing them how to avoid the copyright. And so nobody can find them, so they can't shut them down. But then what they do is they go and write copyright claims on you so they can collect your AdSense. It's real nonsense. YouTube needs to like figure this out and stop it. Hey, Paul Rudnicki, how are you? So I hope you guys are hearing me. Can you guys hear me okay? I have a new microphone and I'm testing it out. And I want to make sure it works. I want to try and get a good radio quality on it, but I don't know if it has a good radio quality or not because, oh, you know what I can do? No, it's kind of a pain in the ass. I can hook headphones up to my mic. It's a Shure mic. It's the Shure MV7 Plus, I guess. But you guys aren't answering me in the chat. I want to make sure you guys can hear me, so I'm going to ask you if you can hear me. Okay, you can hear me. That's awesome. Cool. Oh god, my little Grammarly guy's in the way. Hold on, I gotta get rid of it. All right. So does it sound okay on this mic? Because this little mic cost me a fortune, and I want to make sure it works, or I'm going to return it. It didn't cost me a fortune. It cost me like a good amount of money, though. More than I have. So I want to make sure it works, or I'm going to send it back. But it sounds actually pretty bitchin' on I read a audio thing today and cleaned it up, and it was like, oh my gosh, that sounds amazing compared to what I'm used to. But I don't know how to do all those little Oh shit. I hit the mute button accidentally. Sorry, I was going on, blah 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 blah. I don't have a camera. Thank God. You don't want to see that. You should be able to hear me now. Can you hear me now? It's a Verizon commercial. Can you hear me now? You should be able to hear now. I'm typing in. Because I had hit the mute button accidentally. And it says it's showing up on the thing there. So I was talking to myself for about 2 or 3 minutes. There's no sound still? Crap. Hello? Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me now? Oh, no. It's connected. Let me see if I can hear it. I can hear myself. Hello? Seriously? There's sound. Don't. Oh, Paul. Naughty, naughty. Okay. You bad boy. All right. So, trolling me. How dare you? Just kidding. So, I was going on about while I was silenced by my own mute button. I'll have to remember that. It's on the top of the mic. If I touch that, it might mute it again. You delayed. I'm not going to comment on that. So, as I was saying, and I had it so perfect too. Although I love Lady Eva, although I really enjoyed playing that part, The problem is if the mask on Snapchat ever goes away, it will no longer be available to me, and I won't be able to use it. And although I have 1,000,001 channels already doing different things, I really do. I have other channels out there that you already know. I have Midnight Monsters and Spooky Boo Scary Story Time and a couple of other things. But Splatterday Nightmares, I can't give up the name. I came up with that name originally. I love that name. So what I think I'm gonna do, since Spooky Boo Scary Story Time is just not growing, it's gaining visitors. It gains like 30 to 40 visitors a week, a month, I mean. But the views are still down, everything's down, nothing's working on it, no matter what stories I release, how many, if I go live, this or that. It's a broken channel. It's totally broken. So I'm gonna continue to put pastas out on it because pastas are fun to do, and they're going to continue going. It's okay, Paul. We're just teasing you. I know you're not a troll. I'm trolling you now. We're trolling you. So, anyway, so I'm going to do the live stories here, and I'm going to do they're going to be my stories because I'm going to start writing a lot more. I actually contracted out a story for somebody recently, and gosh, I wrote it in like, I don't know, it was almost a 3,000 word story, and I just whipped that story out, and I don't know how long it took. It wasn't that long. But so I'm just going to do that because that's my goal. That's my dream. My dream isn't to be Joe podcaster. I mean, I love podcasting. I have two dreams here. This is why I started Spooky Boo Scary Story Time. The first one was that I wanted a radio show that people called in. That was the original goal. I wanted people to call in and tell in their stories and blah, blah, blah. So that's going to happen on Midnight Monsters. That's completely not related to this. This is Splatterday Nightmares. It's going to be the same thing. I'm still going to do the same thing. I'm going to do it at 6 o'clock p.m. on Saturday nights. It's 9 p.m. Eastern. And I'm going to come in here. I'm going to tell you my latest, grossest, creepiest, scariest story that I've written for the week. It's not going to be creepypastas. It's not going to be anybody else's stories. It's just going to be mine. Because that's my other dream, is to write my own stuff. It was never to do creepypastas or Reddit stories or anything like that. Although I do enjoy reading them, like, to myself. But my goal was to write. Hey, kitty, don't knock over the water. Colton, Cole. My dream was to write and to do Midnight Monsters. So that's it. Grossness. What's grossness, Rodzilla? That totally grossness. I don't know. What was gross? Did I say gross? Yeah. So that's that. That's what's going on in life. Okay, there's 3 of you on here right now, including me. Where are the other 2 people that are listening? You'd rather hear me tell my stuff. Oh, you'd rather hear my stuff? Oh, thank you, Rodzilla. I love writing stories. I love writing stuff. The thing is that when I started bringing my vampire stories on, I got complaints on those because people didn't like that, vampires are a whole culture of their own. They have their own little thing going on there. Like, there's these incredibly hot guys that are like vampires that have the dark hair and the dark eyes and they go around seducing women, and then that happens, and then they kill them or turn them. And so it's a part of the story, but they don't like that. They want me to create like what's that one's name? I can't think of his name, but they want me to create a vampire and then have it just go kill people. And I can do that too. you know? Anyway, I'm a little nervous. Outside earlier, we heard two really loud bangs. They were, at first, I thought they were gunshots. I was like, next door. I was like, oh my God, that's so loud. And they weren't fireworks. They weren't firecrackers or fireworks. They were really super loud. I'm thinking it was something falling. But I got all panicky and paranoid, and I locked all the doors and everything. Brought the dog in. So you hear me freaking out. I don't know what it was. No police showed up outside or anything. I live in a funky neighborhood. So. Oh, maybe there was an earthquake and it just sounded like that. There was an earthquake in Santa Rosa, apparently. Oh, in Lake County. Anyway. So, how is everybody? Godzilla says, yep, you said you were gonna post some gross stuff. Some gross. You know, I'm trying to find a video to put in this. Oh, look what I found. Let's see if I can show this. Try to guess what movie this guy's from. And we're just going to talk tonight because I don't have any stories or anything ready tonight. I actually got on to test my mic and then I realized how much I missed it. Okay, so in a few seconds, you should be able to see this. I guess I'm like, there we go. Do you know what this character is from on Amazon? There's a t-shirt too. I got to get one for my sister. Right. Paul says, in my wonderful neighborhood, it's that special time of year, the game of the season. It's gunshot or fireworks. Oh no. Ghoulies trilogy. No. You guys aren't close. Actually, let me see. Trilogy's closer because it's an anthology of stories. No ideas here. Thanks for the ride, lady. Thanks for the ride, lady. It's that guy. It's a guy from Creepshow, too. The hitchhiker. They have a doll. And that's what it looks like. Hey, Kirby's 100. How you doing? I want one. The hitchhiker. That's right. Thanks for the ride, lady. Hey, Outrum. How are you? Everybody's coming in here. Yay. I tell you a story, but I have nothing prepared. Nothing prepared. And they're going to be my stories. So next week when I do this, 6 p.m. Saturday night, I have better written a story, right? I'm going to spend like every day writing 500 to 1,000 words so I can get a story ready to tell you guys. So here's the deal. Stories are, for every 1,000 words, it's approximately 7 minutes of podcasting time. Around that. That's give or take. So every 1,000 words is 7 minutes. So to come up with a 2-hour show, do the math here for me. An hour. Say I tell a story for an hour. Say the story is 45 minutes long. That's a sweet spot, around 45 minutes on the podcast, at least. 45 minutes to 49 minutes. That's going to be 7,000 words, right? Is that the right math? You're talking to a dyslexic person who's scared of numbers. So I think that's like 49 minutes, 1,000 words, 7,000 words. Okay. It's 9 p.m. there. See, and I'm going to start at 9 p.m. Eastern. Outrun. 6 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Mountain, or whatever. You guys are weird out there in Mountain Time because you like Arizona Mountain Time. You just, sometimes you're Pacific, sometimes you're Central, and sometimes your own space. I don't know where you are. And then, what is Central? 2 hours. 8 o'clock Central and 9 o'clock Eastern. That's when I'll start on Splatterday Nights. That's right. Oh, man. So, I'll tell stories. Next week, I'll have a fresh new story. And, not all my stories are gonna be Sandcastle stories. There'll be different stories all over the place. So, yeah. I could tell them tonight, but you've heard them all before over and over again. Oh, man. So would you do 2 or 3 stories or 1? That just depends on how long the stories are, I guess. Short stories, I like to make them about 5,000 words. 3,500 to 5,000. I guess. Sometimes shorter. Some of my short stories are like 1,200 words. The zombie one, the one that zombie when she goes out there, that one's only 500 words. I did that for my friend, Hair Raising Narratives and Creepy Clown Girl. I wrote that one for them for that one 5-minute short story collaboration they did. Did you get the call and phone number working? Darth, I did. It's 707 Spooky Bee. That's for Midnight Monsters. That's going to be Sunday nights. I'm going to start that at the end of June. That takes a lot of prep. That's like, I have to find guests, and it's not scary stories. Those are like true things. Outrun might know. I think Outrun might have been on the Midnight Monsters they did a long time ago, maybe. That one is more of an Art Bell show, and I have to find guests, and then I'll have the call in at the end of the show. So the show will be about 45 minutes long to an hour, and then people can call into it. But that's going to take a lot of prep, a lot of detail going into that. But that's why I have this new mic too. But I got to figure out. I'm going to have to listen to this when I'm all done and see if the compression and everything is working out and stuff. So Rod, I don't know about the how many stories. That's a lot of words. It is, but if you break them up, 500 to 1,000 words a day, it's not as much. I went through some really trying times the last. I think I've had writer's block for a year at least. I've just been since my brother died, and then my old boyfriend and I broke up, and long story with that shit. And then trauma. And then then my mom died, and and just like, leave me alone, people, stop. Everything stop happening to me. And then finally, around May of this year, I think I just kind of snapped out of it. Yeah. Are you still moderating the Creature Features chat? Asked Paul. Yes, I am. At 9 o'clock tonight. I think I am. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I'm still moderating the Creature Features chat. Outrun, I think it has been a minute. Yes, it was back in 2016, 17 when I was doing that, I think. That Midnight Monsters program. Maybe 18, I don't know. So, and I bounce around a lot, Don't have anything else to do. Don't have a job right now, so. Well, I do. I have a customer service tech support business I do during the day, but it's kind of slow these days. People aren't spending any money. So, I have a lot of time on my hands. You ever notice when you think you have a lot of time in your hands, you really don't, because you're doing a million things? Yeah. Some of those looking for a job. But anyway, there's 7 people on. How many people are in the chat? Come on, you guys, don't be shy. Oh, I should put live chat on, huh? Let me see. Are all people participants? 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, there's a couple of you missing in here. Come and say hi. Don't be shy. Rodzilla says, glad you pulled through those hard times. Okay, thank you, Rod. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I think everybody has them once in a while, and just you know, life happens. Then it don't. Then no more. Okay, so let's get rid of the guy here. So what kind of topics do you guys like in stories? Do you like vampires? Do you like serial killers, or what? Because I've got some story ideas. I keep writing them down. What happens with me is that while I'm writing a story, I'll come up with an idea and I'm like, well, shit, I can't do that because I'm already writing a story. So I'll put it down and then I'll realize at the end of writing a story, I'll have like 5 other new ideas over here. And unfortunately, that's my brain, how my brain works, because it just goes short circuits and I write all these other things down and then I got to do those. And I have a million ideas that I've written down. They're all bizarre. I don't think anything I write is like standard. It's, I don't know, maybe. But and I have a like for thriller books, like I guess horror movies, not horror movies, horror movies. Need to find a different word for that. Scary movies, maybe? Scary movies scare people more or less based on their fears of when they were, things that have happened to them, maybe not. So thriller movies that have creepers in them, I like watching those because I like to watch the creepers get their asses kicked at the end of the movie, and I like to make sure that they're either dead or in prison. I know. I'm such a nice person, right? Monster movies don't really scare me, but they're fun. And bloody movies, like gory movies, they don't scare me, but they're kind of fun because I like, or stories, I should say. Nothing scares me, but I enjoy a good book or a movie where the bad guy gets his ass mutilated at the end or arrested or whatever. So let's see. Tam, how are you? Oh no. Oh, Tam, I'm sorry. You've been depressed since your mom died. Just coming out of my shell. Yes. I'm sorry. I know. I know exactly. I know. It's just moms are the best people in the world. And just I was on Facebook today and I posted a new picture, one of my old pictures on Facebook. I just rehashed it. I do that sometimes. And I'm reading through the comments and then she had made a comment like 3 years ago. I was just like, and then I responded to him like, shit. And then I looked at who loved her comment, and it was my brother. I'm just like, stop! Don't do this to me. So yeah, I know, I get it. Facebook can be a pain in the butt, I'm glad you're here. Outram, Evil Dolls. I like Evil Dolls too. Godzilla likes blood and guts, hauntedness. Ow. You know what's scary? I hit myself in the head weed whacking today. Yesterday. Or raking or something. I have a big bump there. And it's bruised. So yeah. Thank you. Cheers and prayers to you too, Tam. Your mom had to be awesome, raising such a nice person. So, anyway. Ow, it hurts. Anyway, I'm gonna have to, hopefully there's not a bruise there. I should look at that. I don't have a mirror anywhere close. So what can I put on the thing here? All right. So not everybody has answered. What kind of scary stories do you like? I like scary dolls too. Oh, this is scary. Oh, that's the wrong one. Wait a minute. Huh. Oh well. I'm just gonna show. I'm gonna show you my memes that I put on Facebook. Oh shit. So, what about? Do you like monsters? Do you like vampires? Do you like serial killers, thrillers? I mean, Sandcastle has all of those, all of the above. And I do have a new story out actually that I haven't read yet. I have not read this story yet, and it's called, God, I can't think of what it's called. It was just recently published in Miss Misery's anthology. I think I called it Snake Oil Salesman. But he hasn't sent me a copy of the book yet, a published copy of the book. So I got to ask him about that. It's through, I can't even think of the published name, Black Bedsheet Books. Have you ever heard of Black Bedsheet Books? They do ebooks and paperbacks, and they're based out of California. So Miss Misery is a horror host. Black Doorway Productions, I think, is her company name. And she puts out an anthology, Women in Horror, or Screams in the Night, version 1, 2, and 3, and I'm in the third one. And it was just published. So let's see if I can find that. Scream in the Night. Let's see if I can find that book cover. Anyway, I could read that one. Uh-oh. Amazon, come on. Don't, oh. I have so many windows open on my desktop, I can't tell what is what. Hold on. I gotta find this. And I can read that story if I can find it. The problem is I'm not sure where it is. Here we go. Whoa, that's big. It's a little bigger than I thought it would be. And just sat here. I don't usually just do my live stream so half-assed this way, but I was clearly not prepared for this. But there's a book in there called Snake Oil Salesman that is pretty cool that I wrote. I actually wrote it. I put a lot of people in my horror stories that pissed me off, and this was about a specific person that pissed me off. Don't worry, it's none of you. He has no idea he's in it. It was more about his friend than him. Darth likes stories that have a cool twist. I do too. I like to write stories with a cool twist. Yes, those were Oompa Loompa toes, but I can't find the meme that I had put up. That was pretty funny. That I made. That was pretty funny. Tam, my chat has been going haywire on the creature features. It lags and freezes. Oh no, I don't know why. That's weird. Well, there are 300,000 plus subscribers on the channel now, and I don't know how many people are chatting, but there's a lot. It gets really super busy. But it also has a 20-second delay because it's too busy. if we didn't have the delay, it would just fly by. I wouldn't see anything. So, and people wouldn't be able to read it. So, Paul likes psychological horror. I do too. Rod likes insanity. Tam likes fairies and goblins seem to be a thing lately. Oh. Idea for scary stories. Skinwalker fights off a werewolf. Ooh. Rod, how about an insane, torturous ghost that came from a satanic graveyard? Oh. Rodzilla, congrats on that one. Well, thank you, Rod. They have, I'm in another one of their books too. We did it in 2020. It's called Necromancer. I think Necromancer's a movie. I can't think of what it's called. I had to buy my own book. I don't know. He didn't send me that book either, which is really weird because he's supposed to send you a copy of the book. He didn't send me either. So I don't know what's going on with that, but maybe he didn't get my contract. I don't know. So Necromancer was supposed to be, was it Days of the Dead? What is that called? The convention that goes around? Is it Days of the Dead convention? And we were supposed to go to that in March of 2020. And we all know what happened then, right? So I was supposed to do an author signing in Vegas. And of course, nobody went anywhere in March of 2020, which really sucked. So I'm in that book too. Hey, Fuzzy, how you doing? Tam, if you didn't have slow mode, you're right, it would fly by. Oh, I just realized skinwalkers could be werewolves. Can skinwalkers be werewolves? I mean, they could look like them if they wanted to, but it's not kind of the same thing. Werewolves turn into werewolves because there's an infected bite, and skinwalkers are shamans. I think that's what skinwalkers are. They're shamans. The fake plague happened. I know, right? How to turn something into something it's not. Well, I don't want to get banned on YouTube. You know, when you talk about that, they make you put, I don't know if they still do it, but they make you put a little thing up there that says that explains that you're not telling the truth, or that you have another theory or something. I don't know. They put a little disclaimer up there, which is so silly. So who knows? Who knows what they're doing these days? I'm doing all right, Fuzzy. Doing okay. So I got my new mic going on. Does this sound cool? So I might get it to sound differently. I just have to figure out all of the controls and everything. So Fuzzy, what I was saying earlier is that I'm going to take this channel. I'm going to put more my own stories up on it. It's not going to be movies, but I don't have any stories this week. So it's going to be spooky. I'm not going to go by Spooky Boo on this. That just, no, Spooky Boo Scary Story Times, where I tell the creepypastas. That's fine. That's history. That's legacy. That's Spooky Boo. Those will continue to upload. They'll upload almost every day because the podcast is too big to shut down. So on that, Spooky Boo Scary Story Time, it'll just go and go and go and tell scary stories like 3 to 5 times a week, like usual. But this one will be my stories. And I'll tell them live on Saturdays, or I won't necessarily tell them live. I'll have them recorded and I'll play them so I can chat with you in the chat room. How's that? Some of them will be live, but some of them will be already recorded. Because I don't like screwing up when I'm reading. You should hear me when I screw up while I'm reading. It's hilarious. Because I get mad. You don't want me to get mad while I'm recording. Rod says Caitlin Doherty does some of those dead tours. Really? That would have been fun to do that. Would have been fun. Hey, TM, haven't seen you in a while. How are you? So, anyway. What do you mean at least the plan is there? What does that mean? Fuzzy. Fuzzy wuzzy. Do you ever heard that? Have you ever heard that rhyme? Fuzzy wuzzy was a bear. Fuzzy wuzzy had no hair. Fuzzy wuzzy wasn't fuzzy wuzzy. Anyway. What else can I show you? I'd show you let me show you the other book cover since I have you here and I'm just talking. And I can't. Days of the Dead. Oh gosh, there's a lot of books that are not. What the hey? I guess I have to go to my author page to find it. If you go to www.scarystorytime.com/Amazon, you'll see my books on Amazon. They're books you've already heard, but they're all oh, there it is. I have to go here to grab the picture of it. Whoa, it's not letting me copy it. Hold on. Okay, let's get these. My screen is not adjusted to the right resolution that my video is going on. So the pictures don't show up all the way correctly, but then they end up small on your end. So there's the other book cover for the other one I was telling you about. Whoa. Days of the Dead, Nevada Necromance. That's you had that fuzzy soap. Was that soap with the mold that grew on? It wasn't mold. They were crystals. I put that on my Facebook page not too long ago, a picture of that. And people were saying it was mold. But it was actually not, I think. People sing that to you, Fuzzy. That's funny. So, wait for my channel. Oh, the plan for the channel. Yeah, I wasn't sure anybody would show up tonight. So I just started recording and just trying to test the mic to see what it sounded like. So I'm going to have to find out if it's like showing up right and everything. I don't know. It's a pretty mic. God, it already has a cat hair on it. So the cats aren't even in this room and it has a cat hair on it. Brats. They like to tell me that they're around without telling me they're around. So anyway, so that book, Days of the Dead, a horror fanthology. was the other book that he did. It was published, and it says edited by Jomo. A Black Bedsheet Book is the publisher. So if you haven't seen that one, that's the other one. But the thing is that I don't know. It's kind of funny. In the table of contents, see, I put, you already know the story that's in there. The Halloween costume tailor. Is it in the table of contents? I didn't do this as a table of contents. It says a Halloween costume tailor, Taylor. It's Tailor. It's supposed to be. And when I got the book, I'm looking at it going, table of contents is wrong. I told them about it. I don't know if they changed it because it is a print on demand book. So through their publishing company. So I hope they change that. If not, I'm embarrassed because, but what these companies should do is send their authors an editing copy, even if it's in PDF format. It doesn't have to be in print copy to get an author's format. They should send it in PDF and say, can you look over your stuff to see if we got it right? That's what should happen. And that didn't happen. It was kind of frustrating, but I would have said that. Oh, the title's wrong. But I didn't find out until I got the print book. So whatever. YouTube is our playground, TM. I agree. And thank you, Fuzzy, that the mic sounds good. The other one was a new mic, but well, it wasn't that new. It was a couple of years old, but I don't know. It just never had the sound that it produced. But then again, it was $50, and this one is not. This one's going to put me in the hole for a little while. Credit card company's going to say, "Oh, you're a friend." Let's see. Rodzilla, Necromance. Is that the love for the dead? Alice Cooper. Yeah, that was the theme for that Days of the Dead, I guess. I've never been to a Days of the Dead convention. I guess that's a big thing. They have it in Georgia, Nevada, and all other places, so they just said send in a story, and I did, and they published it. I was like, yay. So I can finally join the Horror Writers Association. I can't because, I guess you have to have a published book and sales of $2,000 on that book or something like that. So that means a lot of people are going to be there because a lot of people publish books, but they're not going to be there. But you have to have a book publisher or publisher not published on your own, unless the one that you published on your own was so popular that you made a lot of money on it. And mine kind of like fizzled and died and whatever, So, but my next one's going to be good. I haven't decided whether I'm going to send it to a publisher or do it myself. Fuzzy. Do I have a fuzzy thing on my mic? Yeah, it has a sound filter, a pop filter. So my plosive P's don't poke anybody. But it's supposedly not as good as a pop filter as other places have. Necromance, 2 necks falling in love. Oh, you guys are gross, man. 2 slit necks tonguing. If I say that out loud, YouTube might have a conniption. Tam, what do you call a pig that practices karate? A pork chop. Oh my God. Oh, there we go. What do you call a pig that practices karate? A pork chop. Were my peas plosive? Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. TM asks, is that the same as a windscreen? Yes, kind of. That's what the fuzzy thing is in the end of the mic. You hear that? That's me rubbing the fuzzy thing. But I also have a windscreen. I don't know where it is. But I don't think I do plosives very much. And I can get rid of them with my software. The thing is, I have the fan. Can you hear the fan? There's several things going on right now. There's a fan. I have a ceiling fan because it's not that hot today. I should turn it off. And also I have a highway right behind my house. I have a major highway going into San Francisco behind my house. And it's loud. And especially on Saturday, I'm surprised there's not more motorcycles out there. Other than Saturdays, I can't record anything on Saturdays usually. There's just Saturdays and Sundays are notorious for motorcycles going up and down between San Francisco and where I live. Oh, good, you can't hear the fan. That's perfect. That's what this mic is really good for. It doesn't hear other sounds. Can you hear the highway? Or the kids outside? The cats are pretty quiet today. They're usually howling in the other room. Kirby's. I remember Deborah Lamb in Beverly Hills Vamp. I seem to remember that she played a female vampire with a slight bad breath. I don't think I've seen that. That's funny. I would think all vampires had bad breath, right? They're drinking blood. Blood doesn't smell the best, especially after it's been sitting there in someone's mouth for a while. And plus, I mean, vampires are technically, they're dead. They're undead. And as long as they have blood, they're not drying up and decaying. So they probably don't smell. They would smell more like meat. Gross. Damn. You could be a new sound effect, fuzzy thing on the mic. Let's hear you spit something on your new mic. Oh no. Is that like a rapper term or something? Spitting? Like, isn't that rap? Like some kind of turntable rap thing, and you spit and you go boom 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 or something like that. I don't do that. If I play anything, I would get a copyright strike because I would be playing something good like, AC/DC. Fuzzy, I'm not going to repeat that rubbing a fuzzy thing. Thank you for confirming that, Paul. I got a lot of stuff. If you can't hear me, type in the keyboard. It's a Shure mic. Shure mics are very good. They're very nice. My son has one for his recording studio in his band. That's not the same son that I put the picture up of with the guy from Ambrosia on Spooky Boo Scary Story Time. Oh, the story on that. My son says, "Mom, do you know who the Ambrosia band is?" I'm like, "Yeah. We love those guys." He's all, "I met this guy." He's excited because the guy has this similar name to his. So he's like, "Yeah, I saw his name on all these things." And I'm like, "Oh, hey, I had your name." And the guy's like, "Yeah, well," explained to him who he was. Just like, "Yeah, you've never heard of them before." He's a 70s band. It's awesome. But he was all excited. But he moved back down to Santa Barbara. So my son's back down to Santa Barbara now. One of them. And he moved in with his girlfriend. And they live right like a few blocks away from the ocean. Sigh, it's so beautiful down there. You go to our ocean. Our ocean's beautiful too, but down there it's a little warmer. You don't have to wear a sweater. Anyway, I'm just going off on that. All right. Blood smells like rust, says Fuzzy. Yeah, but meat kind of has this, blood and meat kind of has this dead smell. Vampire's breath was not garlicky. Garlicky breath isn't bad, actually. TM says, I have been listening to I was born in East LA. I don't know what that is. I'm sorry. Tam can hear the keyboard breathing and just your voice. Good mic you got there. Yeah, I'm kind of having an asthma attack, but whatever. So, sometimes I can't get a breath in while I talk because I talk a lot. But when I have asthma attack, asthma sucks, man. You had it since I was a baby. So preemie baby here, a month early. I was in a glass bubble. I was in a plastic bubble when I was like a baby. And then 3 years later, I think 3 years? A year, 2 years? I don't know. I remember this. I don't remember much of my childhood, but I remember this. I remember having this asthma attack. And I didn't know what was going on. You know, a kid freaking out, can't breathe. But it was worse. I couldn't breathe at all. It was just really bad. I remember my mom trying to hold me down, and my dad's trying to hold me down. Mom's trying to give me a Secrets because she doesn't know what's going on. And I remember just screaming, going, no, 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 no. And it was in the living room out on our ranch. And I remember the black couch. We had a black leather couch. And then I remember going to the hospital and being in they had a big plastic thing around the bed. It's a lot different now when you could do that and you go in for asthma. But back then, you know, a big plastic thing around the bed. I remember that. I remember sitting there. I remember the doors. Barely remember these things. So I had it all my life. It's just a pain in the ass. That's it. You know, just something you learn to deal with. Play Cheech and Chong's song, says TM. Okay. I'll do that. They incubated you like a chicken. Yes, I was. I was incubated. My mom was so sad. She said she couldn't hold me or anything. She had to just sit there and stare at my two little dark eyes, just looking up at her because I have really dark eyes. Coffee can stop it. Fuzzy, that yes and no. It just depends. It depends on how bad it is and what caused it, I guess. Rod says, I remember the tent for my son. Oh no, your son had to go through that too? It's terrifying when you're a kid. But then you learn that, oh, parents bring me presents when I'm in here. I remember getting later on in life, not back, I don't remember getting anything then, but later on I remember coloring books and new nightgowns and and ice cream. It's like, oh, maybe I'll have another one. Just kidding. Oh, it's fun to be sick. Let's be sick again. We can stay home and watch Match Game 76. What show we should not be watching as children? Show that corrupted our heads. Anyway, that was a fun show. So, well, I hope your son's better now. You still use an inhaler? I do. I didn't for many years. I didn't need to. But I'm highly allergic to cats. And I have 4 of them. It also comes and goes. So if I'm eating, okay, so it's also food based. So if I'm eating a lot of wheat and rice and stuff, I get inflamed inside my body and I have horrible asthma attacks when I do that too. So if I'm just eating meat and vegetables, I'm okay. But if I sneak like sometimes you know what? Growing up in California, okay, we got pizza, we got good Chinese food, we got Mexican food. I sneak any of those chow mein noodles or tacos or anything in there like I do every once in a while because I get a craving for that crap because I've eaten it all my life. I have the worst asthma attack the next day. Yeah, I still use an inhaler. My doctor wanted to give me God, what is it called? Monolycoscat or something like that. I don't know. Some weird name. Had a K, had an M, had an S, and O in it. I don't know what it was called. I read the information on it, and the first thing it says when you open up the pamphlet, my doctor doesn't tell me any of this shit because she's just duh. You open up the pamphlet and it says in big, huge letters, may cause nightmares, schizophrenic episodes, just the whole paragraph on all this stuff that it may cause in asthma medicine, allergy medicine. I'm like, well, shit, no wonder why people are going around going crazy these days. They're giving them this stuff and they don't care. Oh, here, take this medicine. It might help you. I'm sorry, I'll stick with my albuterol. I feel like waking up and going in a crazed, insane asylum tomorrow. What is that? Well, I told her, and she gets mad at me because I'm like, if I stop eating weed, it gets better. And she's like, well, no, that's not how it works. And she thinks she knows everything. She's like, she even said one day, she's like, I'm the doctor and I'm the one who went to school for all this stuff, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, well, I'm a computer scientist and I went to school all this stuff. It doesn't matter because you're wrong, lady. She's a trip. But she finally agreed with me that red meat is not bad for you and neither is butter. She finally agreed with me on that because all of the results and everything are different and stuff. And they're finally catching up with that, except for the vegans kept on trying to come in and tell people they're right. And so I got her to agree with me and I'm like, yay, finally. But then she tried to give me that medication one day. Because all I had to say was, yeah, I was delivering a bunch of books, signed books, and I had them in my bag, and I carried it, and I had to walk a long way because it's exercise induced too. And she already knows the cats cause it as well. It's just my lungs. When I was a baby, I was premature, and the doctor says, the doctor I trust, Dr. Yamaguchi, says that when I was a baby and I was premature, that my lungs were a little bit damaged. As Dr. Yamaguchi said, was my baby doctor. I adore her. And I don't know. My doctor's nuts. But I only have her because she's because my insurance sucks and she's the only doctor who doesn't hate steak and cows. Anyway, everybody else is like, you shouldn't be eating steak. Just like, get lost. So where am I? Tam, why did the turkey cross the road to prove he wasn't chicken? Oh, man. Yeah, those and dad jokes. Dad jokes are funny, too. Hello, Infinite Psychosis. How are you? Oh, Fuzzy, why did the banana cross the road? Because it was duct taped to the chicken. Because it was duct taped to the back of a what are those cars called? The Elon Musk cars, Tesla. That ugly thing. Who put that up? Somebody put a picture of that up on Facebook once after somebody posted the banana to the wall. I don't remember who did that. That was funny. Computer scientist and an author. Yes, thank you, TM. Tell her I'm an author. She won't believe it. She's just, oh, the lady next door one day. It was so funny. Okay, so I work from home. Nobody knows what I do for a living. I work from home. The whole neighborhood has no idea. They have no idea that I used to work for Apple Computer. They have no idea that I used to work for SoftNet Systems, that I have all of this background and everything. And because I don't talk to anybody. I just keep it a secret. They have no idea I have a YouTube channel, that I'm an author, and that I write and all that. I used to write tech manuals and I write stuff now. And so I just keep it quiet. I don't really converse. But the HOA lady used to live next to me. The one that lives there now is really nice. She's really sweet. But the one before that was kind of a bitch. And so, my 707 spooky bee number. This lady must have thought I was really stupid or something because she calls it. I accidentally gave her that number to contact me. And she called me for something. And on the message, it says, leave a message at blah, blah, blah. Go to the website at www.scarystorytime.com. And I guess she forgot to hang up or something. People do that to me. She forgot to, I have a lot of stories about that kind of crap. She forgot to hang up. She's like, oh, she knows how to do a website? Well, I know how to do a website. Yeah, she didn't know I had this book out and shit. She's like, I know how to do a website. Blah, 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 blah. Like I'm some idiot. It's like, honey, I could read HTML and PHP and all that stuff at the back of my hand to you. You wouldn't know what I was saying. But I just let her go on the voicemail. I'm just like, shucks. So I went over there the next day, and she's moving at the time. And I'm like, yeah, did you go see that website that was on, that is working on? All this stuff. I was rubbing it in her face and everything. You're going to sell some of your things you're talking about. I'll make you one. Anyway. Oh, yeah. So, remember when egg yolks were bad too? Yes, egg yolks are good for you. Eggs are amazing for you. They are. They still say things are bad. It's the vegans. They pop up and they go, they say all these things about all the good food, and they think their stuff doesn't stink. But you know what? They don't get enough protein. I feel bad for them. You had me at duct tape and bananas. Don't you remember that thing where the guy pasted the banana to the wall and then he made like millions of dollars on it like a few years ago? Oh my god. Rod. I have no comment on that. So, what is considered art? I could go out there and make a million things and then somebody come up and like make something really silly and then they get all this money. Anyway, Dismortal. Dismortal. Is that like rap? Dismortal. You be dismortal. Damn, well, that sucks having a damaged lungs when you're so little. You've had a rough go, but I think you've turned out very well. Well, thank you, Tam. Thank you. It didn't really bother me that much. It wasn't that bad. It comes and goes, but when I have cats, I was raised on a ranch and we had cats and dogs and horses and goats and chickens and so when I was out there it happened, but I'm not allergic to horses. That's the only animal I'm not allergic to. I'm not allergic. They did the prick test. So so they take a needle and they take your arm, your forearm, the underside where it's there's no blemishes or anything. Of course I have freckles there, but they prick your arm 12 times or 24 times, 12 on each side with all of these things, and they say, okay, if you get sick or whatever, we're going to find out what you're allergic to. I'm just like, oh my god, my arm is swelling up like a balloon. But the only one that didn't swell up was horses. I'm allergic to cats, dogs, hay fever, dust, flowers, whatever. But horses was right there. It's like, that's right. I'm not allergic to horses. That's why you need to give me all the horses. Give me all the horses so I can be happy. Because I'm a horse person. Okay. But I'm okay. But thanks, Tam. TM is waiting for a Tesla NASCAR. Wouldn't that be fun? Christian, hi, Christian. I don't talk to people. I don't talk to people either. People suck. Oh, wow. Not everybody sucks. People suck in air. There we go. That's sucking in air. I had somebody one time on the podcast, Apple Podcasts thing say, "Oh, you'll like this one." So the first I get bad reviews sometimes. It's so funny. One review was, "She sighs all the time." And this is when I was doing the live show. Like if I take out all the breaths and sighs and stuff cuz I'll have to catch a breath sometimes. I take that out of the pre-recorded stuff, but somebody's complaining about that. So I'm like, I have asthma, but thanks. Shut up. And then and then the other one was this one cracked me up. She sounds like a drunken phone sex operator who has forgotten her script. I'm like, what? I don't sound like that. Those are just funny things. They put that stuff on Apple Podcasts. Those reviews are just awful, and you can't get them removed. So sorry, my voice just isn't your thing, but don't deal with it, go listen to somebody else. All right. Darth Loverboy turned loose says vegans are delicious if cooked right. Kirby's. I'm gonna get in trouble if I say that one. Sucks your blood. Deborah Lamb sucks your blood. There you go. Tam, HOA is messed up. Not sure I'd live in a community like that. Well, sometimes you kind of don't have a choice. But so I lived in California most of my life, and I moved away for a little while and came back. And I had a choice. When we came back, I bought this dumb house that I don't like. But I thought I was only going to be here for 3 years. When we moved back, I said, okay, I'm going to be working at a high-tech company soon. And what I'll do is I'll just sell the house when we get there. Because the house is like a crappy house. I really don't like it. And I thought I'd be out of here in 3 years. But what happened is I never got that high-tech job I was trying to get for some reason or another. I'll tell you why later, why I'm pretty sure I didn't get it. I think they do background checks before they even look at you. They say they don't, but I'm pretty sure they do. And I'll tell you why this stupid thing happened. So here we go. So I have a background in IT. I've worked at Apple Computer. I've worked at all these other places. I had a great job. One of my favorite jobs ever in the world was software quality assurance. And it was amazing. It was so much fun. And, yeah, Navi. And so that's when you have a rack of computers and you break them. And I did that at Apple for a while. And so I did a lot of things at Apple, IS&T and tech support and development, all this stuff. So that was my last job at Apple, doing software quality assurance and networking. So I get the speeding ticket, right? I'm late for a meeting. I get a speeding ticket. I go in. I go to the meeting. And then, hey, you're being loud. Stop that. Dog, stop that. Anyway, I get laid off because they remove our group and send the group to Ireland, right? And they lay all of us off. And then another guy calls me back. He's like, "Oh my God, you're the one at like 3 o'clock in the morning found a bug and broke Golden Master." Golden Master is the final copy that they're going to get for the next operating system. He's all, "You're the one who found the bug from Finder 6, operating 6, OS 6. They call it Finder back then. That's been a bug for like 20 years. And you found it tonight in this new operating system. Nobody's been able to isolate that bug. I want you to work for me." I'm like, okay. So I go through the whole hiring process again because I was always laid off. I had like 3 months severance pay and all this stuff. And they're like, oh, sorry, you can't work because you can't do this because you have this problem in court. Navi, stop, honey. You wanna go outside? I gotta put the dog out. Hold on. He's being a brat. Okay. Okay. There you go. No barking. All right. So he says, I'm so sick of hiding this. This is so dumb to hide this. So he says, come work for me. You're the one who did all this. So I go through the whole hiring process again. And I need to get my inhaler. And hold on. So I don't pass the background check. I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, you got to go find out what it is. So I go all the way. They're all, you gotta go to this county office. So I go to that county office and I talk to them. They're like, oh, well, you had a speeding ticket. I'm like, yeah, I took care of that a long time ago. No, you never paid for it. I'm like, yeah, I did. No, you didn't. So apparently I have a speeding ticket that they think I never took care of, which I guess they never got it, or maybe it bounced because somebody I was married to used to take money out of the account when I didn't know. I'm not going to go into that. But so I'm like, well, fine. So I pay it. I'm like, well, here's the money. I pay it, And then they're like, well, that's not going to do it. You still have to go to court to get it fixed. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So, because it was like 3 years old, my license hadn't expired, so I had no idea. So I go into court and I'm sitting there and I asked the judge if she would like fix it. She's like, well, no, I can't help you. If I help you, I got to help everybody. I got to do that for everybody else. Goodbye. And then she let go 30 unlicensed drivers who could not speak English right there. Can you guys speak English? The translator's like, no. She's like, okay, you guys can all go. And they were all arrested for unlicensed driving. I'm like, what? I think I've told this story before. So, anyway, so that's why I have such a hard time finding a job because of that. Isn't that stupid? That's why I'm trying so hard to get this stuff going and writing and podcasting and also trying to find a job and do all this stuff at the same time because it's tough out there today. But yeah, so let's read the comments. That was embarrassing. Oh, I would love to go back to Apple. I mean, Apple's like one of the funnest places to work ever. We have so much fun there, and I just love doing software quality assurance. I love it almost as much as I love writing. If I could make a living writing, I would do that. I wouldn't do anything else but write. And I could probably do that if I just do it, right? But software quality assurance, you're testing it. It's fun. You get to break it and figure out what's wrong with it and ooh and ah and amaze people that their code breaks. And then they get mad at you. It's so fun. All right. Could you please make the graphic a little bigger? I can. There you go. Is it showing up on the screen? Okay, there we go. I can see it. That's the thing is that my OBS software only has so much room for some reason, and I can't modify it, but it's much smaller than the screen is. So I don't know how big it actually is. Does that help? Is that better? I hope. See, there's a lot of room on top, apparently, that I cannot access. That might work. Okay. Let me know if that's not big enough yet, and I'll figure it out somehow. Horses are awesome, says Tam. Yes, they are. I had a horse growing up. Really miss her. She died when I was 18. That was like so sad. I loved her so much. But my dad bought her for me when I was 9. And I had a pony too. I had a horse and a pony. Pony was kind of a family pony. And the pony was so obsessed with the horse that he only had one eye. The pony did. He was a Welsh. He was beautiful. He was like white, almost a I don't know. He was kind of a silvery brown, white, really pretty with a black mane and black tail. Well, his mane wasn't that pretty. He was kind of a big dopey. He looked like a draft pony. He was really strong and everything, but he wasn't big like a draft horse, but he was big like a draft pony. It was really weird. And his name was Friendly, and her name was Kamaya, and he would follow her around, and and he was such a butthead when we'd go on rides, and I always have to ride him because my sister would ride the horse. She wouldn't want to ride him because he was a butthead. And when my horse would poop, she'd disgracefully poop, he would stop and eat it. He was such a shit. And he broke all the fences. He didn't care. Electric fence, wooden fence, metal fence. He didn't care. He took that fence down whenever she'd go ride. Whenever I'd take her out riding, he would freak out because he was alone. And he would break the fence and run after us. Oh my gosh, he was such a brat. I don't know where he went after they got divorced. I was so torn up by the whole thing. And they sold her with the property. She's a Morgan Arabian, and she's kind of a short Morgan Arabian, but she's so beautiful. She's this dark bay, beautiful Morgan Arabian. And she was so mad being left. She's kind of a bitch, okay? She was spooky. She was scared of everything. She would freak out all the time. Even butterfly would fly across her face and she'd freak out. But she was really super fast. And I just loved my horse. And he sold her with the property and said, "Oh, here's a bike. I'll give you a bike for yours." I'm like, "Oh yeah, thanks, Dad. That really helps." And so a couple years later, maybe, I think I was 13 or 14. He sold her when I was 10. When I was 14, they called me and they said, "Look, we can't keep your horse, okay? She's beating up all the other horses. She's kicking them, she bites them, she snorts at them." I'm like, "Okay, hold on." I called my dad. I'm like, Dad, please, can I have my horse back, please? You ruined my life. You need to give me the horse back." And so he buys me Kamaya again. He goes and buys her. I think they almost gave her to him. That's probably the only reason why he did it, because they didn't I don't know what the deal was, but and then he rented her out in a pasture. Let's see. Where did we first rent her out? We first rented her out at my brother's backyard. So it wasn't really a renting situation. He had a pasture out in Santa Rosa with it was a ridiculous house. Big, beautiful plantation looking house that he rented, and it conveniently had a pasture and a barn in the backyard in the middle of town. So she was there for a while, and then we moved her to Larkfield next to where I lived, down the street. So, in that old haunted house I lived in Larkfield, she was down the street and about a mile away, down off of or a couple miles away, down by Laughlin, Airport Boulevard, in that area. And I don't know why I'm telling you this, but I got her back. I was so happy. Yes, horses are awesome, Tam. Sorry. Went off on a tangent there. Let's see. You guys are talking about protein? Oh my God! I'm not repeating those things you guys are saying in there. Oh my God. Oh, you guys are talking about eating vegans. Okay. Tell your cat I said pss, 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 pss. So Unreal Boo. Oh, was that about my job experience? Yeah, that sucked. Let's see. And it sucked because I have a lot of career background stuff that I use in everything I do. I'm my own webmaster and I do all this tech stuff on my own, computer shit and everything, and all the graphics. I do all of this stuff on my own because I know how to do it. Just nobody will hire me. Go figure. Sorry your feed sucks, Tam. I don't know. Your bets are getting less. Oh my gosh. I would like to get a mule. Mules are fun. My sister used to have one. Well, she had a donkey and a mule. I guess she had a male and a female donkey, a Jack and a Jenny. Isn't that what they're called? And the Jenny like killed her baby. She's like, I don't like you anymore. She got rid of her, but Jenny got pregnant, had a baby. I don't know what a baby donkey's called. Is it a foal? I have no idea. Redzilla, my dog used to eat its poo to get rid of the evidence because my dad spanked him for doing his business in the house. My dog thinks the cat litter box is the Almond Roca Bonanza area. Not my dog, it's my son's dog. Anyway. Now only 6 people are watching. I guess they figured that I'm not playing any movies and I'm not going to be streaming any stories tonight. Oh, good night, Fuzzy. Sleep well. Yes, mules are sterile. Donkeys are not. Donkeys and horses make mules, and the mules end up sterile. And I think it has to be a mare horse and a stallion donkey or whatever. But I mean, how donkeys are a lot smaller than horses, aren't they? Maybe this is mules. Dog ate his crap for a hot meal. Oh my gosh, that's funny. My son's dog's a pain in the butt. He will do his business in the house if you're not careful. That's why I have to leave the door open all the time, because if I don't, he looks. He turns around and looks to see if you're looking. And he'll be right there. I'm like, what are you doing? Don't do that. I'm not talking to you, dog. See, he knows that I'm talking about him. So anyway, yeah. So if you're here watching and you're listening for stories, I'll be telling the stories next week. I will come out with a story for you. I'll be moving my stories over here. Maybe that will be the first one. But the problem is that my old stories are very short. So they'll have to be in one episode of long stories. The new stories I'll be writing will be a lot longer so that they can fill, or multiple stories so that they can fill the full hour and a half or whatever. So this week are not stories, but next week are stories. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why it would do that, Tam. Why it would freeze on creature features. I mean, it doesn't happen to me, so I don't know. It's really weird. Because it would happen to everybody. I mean, it happens to one person. I don't know why it would just. Do you watch it over broadband or phone, or do they still have phone internet service? I don't know. You watch it over broadband or phone or dial up. So give you a teaser. Have you heard my zombie story yet? Let me see. A teaser of what? Stories coming up? All of my stories have intros and stuff. They're not prepared. But I can read one. Let me grab a... Oh, that's not what I'm looking for. Ah. You know what's also really nice is that my son, for a while, overtook my office, and I have my office back, my studio back, which is really super nice. Okay, let's see. I'll read you a teaser. No. Oh, teaser of what? Here's a very short story. I used to work on dial-up phones, dial-up internet service lines. It was pretty funny. You've probably heard this a million times, but I'll read it anyway for those of you who are in here who've never heard it before. Primordial instinct. The night air is crisp and cool as your eyes flutter open to the sound of your beating heart. The pounding is faster and louder than it should be. Every beat feels like an explosion coming from the aching pain in your head. The last thing you remember is someone attacking you from behind. The excruciating pain of his teeth in your neck burned your skin as your screams filled the night. Your fingers tore at his face, pulling pieces of it off with your nails. You grabbed the largest rock you could find and bashed it into his skull, hearing the sickening crack of his cranium into his brain. Cold brain matter splashed on your face as he fell to the ground, and then you ran until your lungs burned and gave way to exhaustion. The memory is dull and doesn't seem to matter anymore. The festering wound in the back of your neck hurts, and you know you must get to a hospital. The buzzing sound of a fly stops you as you slap at your neck and feel something cold ooze between your fingers. Confused, you look at your hand. A sticky, dark green, almost black substance that reeks of death and decay coats your palm and slowly drips to the ground. You want to get up, but you can't feel your legs or even your arms at this point. Your useless limbs ignore your commands as you will yourself to move. What the hell is wrong with me? You cry out to the empty night. Somebody help me. Your voice carries and fades into the cold, dark air. It echoes into the blackness of the quiet city that ignores your pleas for help. You hear the rustling sound of feet on the ground and incoherent grunts of other people nearby, but no one comes to your aid. The smell of rotting meat fills your senses as you slowly push yourself up from the ground. Looking around, you realize the stench is coming from your very own body. You look down at your tattered clothes and ashen gray skin, and in a bolt of confusion and terror, the memory of your attacker fades as the scent of fresh meat wafts in front of you. On instinct, your legs carry you to the origin of the On instinct, your legs carry you to the delightful smell, and as you stare at the as you stare at the others feasting upon the flesh of the crying woman, your stomach aches in hunger. She stares at you with watery eyes, seemingly unable to either run or scream. Blood splatters over her neck and face from somewhere beneath her shoulders. You follow the trail to the group of rotting corpses feasting upon her intestines. No, your brain screams, but the sound you hear from your lips is a low grunt as you fall down to your knees and begin to tear at the woman's flesh, grabbing handfuls of bloody entrails. Your consciousness slowly fades into a little black hole and ceases to be. There you go. That I wrote at, so I had that's a 3-minute story. I had to do a 3-minute story for my friend, Hair Raising Narratives and Creepy Clown Girl, and that's what I submitted to them for me to read on her channel one day. Or was it his channel or her channel? I think they had a collaboration. I'm not sure whose channel it was on. So, yeah, there you go. That was nice and graphic. That was my first. I think that was my first zombie. No, that wasn't. That was my second zombie story I've ever written. That one was fun. I usually don't write things in first person. No, not first person. In present tense. I don't know. I write a lot of things in first person, but not present tense. Thanks, Rod. Thanks, Tam. It is bloody graphic. What else? I think you've read all of these. You've heard all of these on my channel. What I don't a lot of these old Sandcastle stories, I don't think they what happens with the Sandcastle stories is that they don't know that the stories in the channel are related to each other. I got a little caught up in that. Oh, here's one. What time is it? 7. Oh, it's only 7:47. Wow. All right. Golden Gate Jumper. The Golden Gate Bridge is a place where way too many people jump to their untimely death. According to sources online, more than 1,700 people have jumped off the bridge. I didn't think much of this until one night I decided to walk across the bridge after school. I attend college at UCSF, and I was having troubles with some of my studies. I was also breaking up with my boyfriend, and I seriously needed some time to think. I drove down to the Golden Gate Bridge parking lot and got lucky finding a space right away. It was around 4 in the afternoon, but the fog was rolling in fast, and I don't know if you've ever been to San Francisco, but the fog can sometimes be either really pretty or really in the way. Tonight I was happy it was rolling in, but I knew it would get super cold, and I didn't want to be out late. I walked to the entrance of the bridge and started to stroll peacefully, enjoying my thoughts of how I was going to ace my tests coming up and graduate soon. I didn't want to tell my boyfriend about my move to get my master's degree at a different college because I knew he wouldn't take it well. I just had to figure out how to tell him, and going for a walk on the bridge would clear out those horrible thoughts. The further I walked, the more weight I felt on my shoulders. I had never experienced this before in my life. It was like something was pulling me down, slowing me down. I wanted to stop and lie down right there and just sleep. I had never felt such sadness before. And right when I was about to turn back, figuring it was the weather and height of the bridge playing tricks on my mind, I saw a figure sitting on the side of the bridge, his legs dangling over and his head hunched in pain. He seemed to be crying. "Are you okay?" I asked. "They don't love me," he sobbed and kept on staring into the bay. "Who doesn't love you?" I asked. I was afraid this guy was a jumper, and that scared me more than anything. "No one. I'm all alone, and I'm tired of the pain." He cried harder, and then he looked at me. An instant rush of sadness and cold hit me harder than anything I've ever felt before. I suddenly wanted to know what it was like to feel the air on my skin, and I was falling while staring into the bay with this man. There was a feeling that made me uncomfortable, and I looked over at him. He seemed to be about 20 years old, with long bleach blonde hair and a tan. He didn't look right for this day and age. He looked like it was someone from the 60s. "What's your name?" I stepped closer and held out my hand, hoping he might be able to grab my hand. With the other hand, I reached into my pocket for my cell phone and fumbled with the keys to dial 911. Maybe they would hear the conversation because I knew if he thought I was calling, he might jump right away. "Johnny, my name is Johnny Piers." He seemed a bit more relaxed until he heard the 911 operator from my handbag asking who was calling and if I was all right. "Johnny, I'm Kylie. Can you just wait here with me? I need someone to talk to." I would say anything to keep this kid from jumping. The 911 operator was still telling me to hold on the line and the local police would be there as soon as possible. He looked down again, and this is when I noticed he was barefoot, and he had on bell-bottom jeans and a tie-dye shirt. His puka shell necklace reminded me of the one my mother gave me when I was a child. Either this guy was really out of date or this was some kind of hoax. I wanted to believe the latter, but something told me he was real and about to jump. "Please talk with me," I pleaded with him. He looked over at me, tears welling in his eyes as he pushed himself over the side and into the bay. I heard the scream on the way down and the splash of water. Feeling sick and dizzy, I braced myself against the rail so I didn't fall. "Hello," I heard the 911 operator on my cell. Yes, I'd watched a man jump off the bridge. I was crying. I didn't even realize it." "Are you okay, ma'am?" she asked as the police cars pulled up then an ambulance. What did I write? Are you okay, ma'am? She asked as the police cars pulled up, then an ambulance. At first, they must have thought I was the one who was jumping because they started acting very cautious, but then I realized I was a caller. I just watched a man jump off the bridge, I said as I shuddered and the goosebumps grew on my arms. The police looked down below and called in a jumper. They asked me to describe him and if I knew anything else. When I did describe him, when I did describe the guy, one of the cops, the older one, just shook his head. Is this a joke, lady? No, I cried harder. I watched him. His name was Johnny and he jumped. I'm not making this up. Ma'am, Johnny Pierce committed suicide by jumping off the bridge more than 40 years ago. They found his body 2 days after he jumped onto the rocks. There isn't any way that Johnny Pierce could have jumped today. Maybe you were mistaken. He said Johnny Pierce, I retorted. Days later, while doing an investigation about the event, I was called into the police department. They played the recording from 911, which included a male voice telling me he was Johnny Pierce. Oops. Telling me it was Johnny Pierce and begged him not to stop. The police showed me 10 pictures of men all around the same age. Some dated, some new. I pointed to the one who looked like the guy who had jumped. The room went silent. And then one of the older cops looked at me and shook his head saying, that is Johnny Pierce. I screwed up. I just realized while I'm reading it, but I'm not going to tell you where. All right. If I wrote a book, it would be 25 pages or 1,000 pages too short or too long. Either way, it probably wouldn't be too good. TM. Oh, TM, come on. You never know until you try. I bet you'd be really good at it. That's what every time I sit down to write something, I think, oh my God, they're going to hate it. Those are the first thoughts in my head. I come with this great idea and I think, oh, it'd be really cool if this happened. And then I'm like, oh, I don't know. So don't talk to yourself that way. 10 minutes. What's 10 minutes? Golden Gate, wonderful place to see people too. Yes, it's a beautiful place. Johnny Dumpster. Where are you? Jumpster? For his spirit got stuck in the time loop of his own death. What's 5 minutes? Till 8 o'clock? I don't know what you mean. Johnny Pierce is a popular character in the world of Sandcastle. But I realize I screwed up on the dates on that story. That's why I need editors. I need people to read my stories, especially if they're if they're talking about it. Oh, that's another thing I want to mention. If you like reading books, I'm looking for ARC's advanced review. What does the C stand? Copies. People who want to read ARCs. The ARC will be in PDF format, not in print, because I don't have any money to do that. But if it's not for editing. Okay, so I need editors, people who want to read for fun, and then say, oh, you know what? Johnny Pierce jumped, but that can't possibly be the right thing because that wasn't 40 years ago. Was it? 1960s? Oh my God, it was. Holy crap. Anyway, to find little mistakes like that. And the stories would be in PDF. That would be the editorial review. But then the advanced review copies are for reviews, for not editorial, not mistakes or copy editing or anything like that. The ARCs are for advanced review copies. So it's just an exchange for a review. Good or bad. If you want to say, God, she sucks. You got an advanced review copy book and you hated it. And you say, God, she sucks. That's fine. You may not get another one. Just kidding. Or if the other one, if you really loved it and say, yeah, I really love the book, the characters, blah, 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 and all this stuff. So that's what the advanced review copy is. So if you want one of those in PDF, all I ask is that you do a review on it when it goes out on the platform that you want to do a review on it for. Rod would like to do that. Awesome, Rod. So can you send me your email? If I don't, I might have that. I don't know, but tell me which one you want. If anybody who wants to do that, send me your email. You can send it to spookyboo@scarystorytime.com, I think is what I was asking people to send it to. And just send me the information through there, and then I'll know your email address. You don't have to give me here. Keep it private. But if you send it to me at spookyboo@scarystorytime.com, I'll get it, and I will add you to the list. What about Joe Mo? Oh, the editor for the Necromancer? You know what? I was gonna hire Joe Mo to edit. I haven't heard from Joe Mo in a long time. I haven't even seen any Facebook posts. I have to make sure he's okay. But Joe Mo's not my professional editor. He's the editor from I think he works for Black Bedsheet Books. But he's also an editor, but he doesn't do it for free. He doesn't do it for a copy of the book. He did it for Black Bedsheet Books, though. He's edited for them, I think. But hiring an editor, a professional editor, is like, I don't have a professional editor for Sandcastle stories because, I think I've sold a total of, I don't know. I sold maybe 25 of these books. So that would not have paid for an editor. I don't know how to market on Amazon. I introduced it on my podcast and YouTube and everything, and I think I've sold 25. But I still have to send... Don't I have to send you one, Rod? I was going through a lot of traumatic stuff back then. I think I have to send you one. And a signed one. And I don't remember a lot of what I did during December. I'm very sorry. I was out of it. I was like, whoa. I don't even remember working during December, January, and February. I did. It's just I went through the motions every day. Don't I owe you a book? I might add an intestine slap. Ew. TM, can you get a college kid to help with the editing? Maybe, but aren't they still in college learning? Oh man, I don't want to relive those months. I'll get that out to you. I'm so sorry. I was also in my back office in the house. I'm back into my big office, thank God. I was stuck in a closet. My son came home from college for a few months. I had to move everything from my big office back into my closet, and I have this walk-in closet in my bedroom. It's where I used to podcast. And I was out of there for like 3 years when he went to school, and then he came home for 6 months or 8 months or something, and I was in there. I was miserable, absolutely miserable. But I'm free again. I'm back out in the front office. It's very nice. It's not nice. It's a wreck. It's like it went through, like, my sons were in here. It's like 600 square feet almost. It's this big room. And they had their bedrooms in here. And they treated it terribly. And yeah. Thanks on the space, Tam. I'm going to put, eventually, my whole goal this whole time is to put a studio in here with a lot of cool furniture, a lot of cool stuff. And I've been thinking about that for a long time, but they left a bunch of crap in here. And he finally came back home and got rid of his crap. And then he moved down south with his girlfriend. The other son lives with his girlfriend. So they're not here anymore. They're probably going to get married soon. He left his bed here because he accidentally stripped the screws putting the bed together. He wanted to take it with him, but he couldn't take the bed frame. And he's all mad about that. So now I got this stupid king size bed sitting there in the other side of the room I got to get rid of somehow. You got a new mic. I did. I'm so happy I got this new mic. It's on credit. I didn't buy it with cash. I had to buy it with credit, but I finally decided that this old one I had, which is actually cool. It served its time. My other one had broken, but this old one I had, it's a fun mic. It lights up. It has an LED light. It lights up purple and green and stuff, but I don't know. It didn't do the job because it's like a $50 mic as opposed to this one. So, bonfire bed. It's metal. It's a really expensive bed frame though. He was so mad because he paid a lot of money for it. And he couldn't get it out of the house. So, whatever. I don't know if I'm going to, maybe I'll keep it. Maybe I'll keep it in here and then he took the mattress. I have to get a mattress for it. And then I'll just close off that section of the room and use it for storage. And then when they come for holidays, it would make more sense to have a bunk bed though. But, when they come for holidays and stuff, they can come into town and sleep there. That's what I'll do. I'll just leave it. You want to see my fuzzy wuzzy mic? I can take a picture of it. What, my new one? The other one has a filter on it too. You can see a picture of the other one on YouTube somewhere. I'll show you. I don't have a way to take a picture of it right now, but I can show you a picture of what it looks like. Let's see. You want to see this mic? Shure SM7 Plus. Is that it? No, what? It says it on the mic right there. No, it doesn't. Damn it. What is it? That's my chair. I'm not farting. MV7 Plus. My chair squeaks. It's an old chair. I need to get a new one. MV7 Plus. You want to see what that mic looks like? It's really cool. It has a band of color on it. Oh, how do I do this? Google pops up with selling stuff. You never get what you want on there because they sell stuff. Okay, this is what my mic looks like. It's a really nice mic. It better work. It better be doing its job because it's not. It's only like $300. You're excited. Ooh, that's what it looks like. I can change the color of the thing too. I'm going to change it to purple because purple's cooler than green. But yeah. Anyway, I gotta go get some dinner before Creature Features starts. It's gonna take me a while, and I'm gonna go moderate. And hope you see you guys there. Reaper's Horror. I was just going to log off. That's it with some fuzz. It doesn't have a lot of fuzz on it because it hasn't been around the cats. The cats, man, I got fuzzy cats. They just explode hair everywhere. But it doesn't have a lot of hair on it. And it doesn't have any hair on it. Just had that one piece. Reapers, I'm leaving. I'm sorry. I'm telling everybody that this channel is going to be stories on Saturday nights until like 8 o'clock, like right now. So I'm going to do it from 6 to 8. It's not going to be movies. It's going to be Splatterday stories and whatever. By the campfire, I'll make more campfire scenes. I miss doing that with you guys. So it's not going to be on Spooky Bee Scary Story Time. Exploding cats. Oh, you'd be there. You'd eat that right up, wouldn't you? So I'm going to go make some dinner and get ready to go moderate. You guys have a lovely night. I love having you here. I'll see you again Saturday night, next Saturday. I might be on Midnight Monsters testing tomorrow night. I don't know. So that will officially start June 30th. Anyway, thanks for being here. Love you. Bye. I'll send that book out, Rod. Okay, Tam. Night, all.